Welcome everyone to episode 207 of the Trust the Plan podcast. I'm Nick.
And I'm Jim.
And today we're talking about retirement housing choices.
Sounds like a good topic.
Yeah. What's your retirement housing dream? Put you on the spot here.
I guess I hadn't thought about it a lot. I don't mind the sound of retiring to a little smaller place near some water, maybe get on the lake.
On the lake? Yeah.
See some nice sunrises, sunsets,
So you're the one.
Yeah, that's it.
Mine's similar, I'd like to have a place on the lake here in Michigan, but I'd like to also be a snowbird and have a place down in Florida.
It's pretty attractive too.
Yeah. But I'm 44, right? And I'm accounting for this in my financial plan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key to this episode, right?
Planning in advance.
That's right.
Okay.
Planning in advance. So there's nothing worse than when someone comes to us with their retirement goals, right? And expectations. And we run through the numbers and everything looks good. And I say, all right, I endorse your retirement at the end of the year or whatever, next year on your birthday, I don't know, or after that bonus check clears, So then, this has happened a few times in my career, then they come to us, maybe several months later or the next year and say, we're going to buy a place in Florida. And I'm like, would have been nice to know about that yesterday, Then we run the numbers and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, the probability of success starts to drop on the plan.
Yep. And let's talk about why, okay? Because if you pull hundreds of thousands out of your portfolio and sink it into a property, okay? The property has property taxes, insurance, maintenance, window treatments, paint, a new deck, right? A new kitchen, right? The costs never end. So we're not only losing this, let's say it's 300,000. This 300,000 over here is earning, okay? And over here, it's creating more liability.
Right.
Even if there's no mortgage, it's creating more cash flow drain. I call it the anti-dividend. We're over here collecting a dividend, and over here, there's not only no dividend, but we're paying more into it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a good analogy, but I think it's so true. People so easily on the surface will look at something and say, well, it's only 300, right? We got 300 in this account. We can take it out and that's it. But they neglect all those things you just mentioned, the taxes, the additional furniture, the additional utility expenses, right? And those things they add up and they become a real financial drain. As opposed to what that money was doing for us over here, helping to add to cash flow instead of subtracting away from it.
I agree. And there's an episode, I forget which one it was, maybe like episode 30 or episode 50. It was called the anti-dividend, similar to the $2,000 boat ride.
The boat ride.
Pontoon boat ride, yeah. The other thing is, maybe it's not that we want to buy a house in Florida, but I want to build a huge pole barn on my property for my stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so then it just, for a new car that's, 100,000, like these things that are just not accounted for in the plan.
Right.
And then it requires massive withdrawals, which puts you in a higher tax bracket, which means you have the anti-dividend situation, okay? And maybe not even maybe with a pole barn, the value is not even there when you're reselling.
Add to it.
Yeah.
The one I feel like we see a lot too are the people that want to downsize, right? I'm going to go from this 4-bedroom house to a condo. It'll be great. Well, what we see so often is that 2-bedroom condo is really not any less expensive than the house was. The condos are really expensive, but you add the condo association fees, which now has added a higher monthly cost than you had originally anticipated.
We have a new client in Chicago, and her HOA is like $900 a month. I'm like, what is going on here with this HOA? Upsetting, yeah.
Yeah, but those are the kind of things that, and of course, when you sell the house you've been in for 20 years and you move to the new place, there's that reassessment on the taxes. So even though the place maybe even costs less, that doesn't mean your tax bill is going down.
That's exactly right. And I love reading these Wall Street Journal personal finance articles because it's talking about, boomers thinking about retiring here, and there's no better time to sell your house, right? But the problem is, which I fully understand, because I'm going to share my story in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Problem is, when you sell that house for top value, the other prices, the other properties, those values are up as well, and you're resetting that tax base.
Mm-hmm.
So let me share this. Bought a house in 2009 in the Superior Township. Okay, township taxes, Ann Arbor schools. I thought it was a pretty good setup, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we sell it after 12 years, move to the city of Plymouth. Shout out to city of Plymouth with their outrageous city taxes here. Okay, so we downsized our house by 50% square footage. That's a huge drop, right?
Yeah.
Get this. Property taxes up 50%.
Wow.
I'm not exaggerating.
It's a big swing.
Okay. It's embarrassing. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to share the numbers, okay? Because I'm so just disgusted with myself. So, it's township taxes, city taxes.
Yeah.
Right? We go from 1.1 acres to 5,000 square feet of a city lot.
Right.
50% less house. Okay. But the value is similar. I think the city of Plymouth value is a little higher than the house we sold. Okay.
Yeah.
To tell you, it's a testament to the demand for the city of Plymouth. Okay.
Yeah.
But the house that we bought and tore down, the annual taxes were $4,000. Okay. And they've gone up 4 or 5x.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, Mr. Mayor of City of Plymouth, did you hire more firefighters?
Yeah.
Did you hire more police?
For this, right?
Did you repave the street? What did you do? It's still just one house.
Yeah.
Right? And it's ridiculous. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to get it. I don't want them coming by my house giving me more tickets.
They didn't want to negotiate that.
I actually signed up for the what do you call it, the tax evaluation session.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I signed up for it, and then I no-showed. I'm like,
there you go. You stuck it to them.
They were probably happy. They're like, Hopwood, and there's no one there. And they're like, cross him off. That guy's going to eat that tax.
Right.
Okay. So anyway, when we're thinking about retirement housing, it's a really important thing. Okay. Right? Do we need one house, two houses? Property taxes. I mean, the property taxes, I'm telling you right now, if you want to live in a certain area, you have to account for this. Okay.
Yeah.
Because there's people that tell us hey, we have a retirement goal of $100,000 a year. Well, guess what? If you want to live in this particular place, it's going to be $20,000
right.
of income tax, or I'm sorry, of property taxes. Then there's income taxes. All of a sudden, you're only actually able to live on $5,000 a month.
Right.
Instead of $8,300.
Yeah.
So this is the biggest epidemic. Is that the right usage?
Sure.
I think it. I'm here screaming it from the mountaintops.
Yeah.
And no one's listening.
Well, once this hits our YouTube channel, they'll be listening.
That's right. Share for your friends. Okay, so if you are evaluating your housing situation, if you're already retired or thinking about retirement, right? We think about not just investments, right? We think about the whole thing. So this is part of a holistic, comprehensive financial plan, and we are the CFPs in your corner. We believe by providing this education, we can help you make good decisions, so you can retire with peak confidence.